welcome to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with your favorite guest in the entire world, Maureen Callahan, host
Aw.
of The Nerve. Wow, you've been doing so much fun stuff lately, but can we please talk about Ashton Kutcher? You're, he's dead. I mean, DOA, the comeback is not happening with Maureen Callahan on the case. I'm sorry.
I hope so. I mean, we really do what we can for the culture. And on the nerve, we went through the close relationships that Ashton has had, not just with Sean Combs, who, as far as I can tell, he has never repudiated. He has never stood up for Cassie after we all saw that video of Sean Combs pummeling her like a pinata on a floor on a loop during his trial. He also has stood up for Danny Masterson, who is a convicted violent rapist. And now he would like us to welcome him back into our arms and watch his new show with Ryan Murphy and let him act again, to which I say, no.
Do
Sorry for
you
the
do,
language.
do you go into the murder that he's
I
affiliated
do.
with? Oh gosh,
I
I can't
do.
wait. I can't wait because that's happening on The Nerve at night. And so that is something that I cannot wait to see. And thank you so much for never forgetting the details because obviously that's why you're a pro. Let's talk
Thank
about
you.
some people that get a lot of treatment on your show as well, fairly, because they
hmm
are emotional terrorists in my personal opinion. Well, first of all, there's breaking news with Brooklyn Beckham. Have you seen any of this yet?
I just saw some of it. It is literally breaking where it feels very, very Harry. Uh, I would say Megan, but it feels very Harry. He basically has just come out and had this rage explosion.
Yeah.
It's like all id, where he's like, I don't want to reconcile with my family ever. They're so awful to me. And you're just, I feel like this is kind of like vulgar. It's like someone exposing themselves to you on the subway. Like, I don't need to know your personal business like this.
Oh, that's how I felt too. I thought never complain, never explain works for a reason. And that's
hmm
what we see Victoria and David, you know, shadow, mirror, I should say, because we've been making these comparisons, Brooklyn, Harry, for a while, but David and Victoria seem to handle it with such grace and just keep busy and keep focused on their business and being productive in the world. And I think that the reason why there's any question whatsoever about Brooklyn and his happiness or Brooklyn in general is because he doesn't contribute a lot to the world. He's a Nepo baby. Now that he's been cut off by his parents because he blocked them, he's now being rewarded through Nicola's very, very wealthy family. And so he's maintained in that department.
This is a young man who has very little to offer the world. As I think you and I have discussed, he's been trying to be a professional chef for the past 12 years. And this is on the heels of like being maybe a professional DJ,
And a
maybe
photographer.
being a professional photographer, a model. Nothing has stuck. We're not really interested in educating ourselves or really learning a craft. Um, and I think what fills the space of that, the stuff that the rest of us get like our self-esteem from, like strong relationships and contributing something to society, there's a huge void there. And what else is there to fill it with but grievance and blaming others for your problems? And who better to blame than his very successful parents who built their own careers and brands from the ground up through real hard work.
All right, Harry and Meghan. I'm curious because you are such a guru, a pop culture connoisseur, and Harry and Meghan have re-signed with Meghan's old agency, the agency that I'm actually surprised she could afford pre-Harry when she was on Suits, Sunshine Sachs, and I'm wondering where you think this can go. Where do you think this can go? Because this is not their first rodeo. Back in 2017, they received a nasty phone call from Meghan, livid over the Vanity Fair cover they secured for her with the Wild About Harry headline.
Mm.
She later accused Vanity Fair of racism because of the Judy Garland blackface movie, which is just totally unrelated. But they know that this is a problematic client. Why go back here? And are they capable of turning around Meghan Markle's very, I don't know, difficult brand, or I don't know, difficult reputation.
Nobody's capable. I have no idea why Sunshine Sachs would do this. I believe Sunshine Sachs repped Harvey. And then when I believe, you'd have to fact check it, but when he was credibly accused, and the Times story broke, I believe they dropped him.
Mm.
And I don't know why they would revisit a client like a Meghan Markle. She's beyond rehabilitation, and we've seen this over and over. It's kind of it's the adage, wherever you go there you are. It doesn't matter who she signs with, who her publicist is, who her crisis managers are, her brand, thought leaders. She's the problem. She's the cancer at the heart of everything that goes wrong. And I don't know what the reimagining is for 2026. We have yet to really get any kind of statement. I mean, I know she just recently launched her line of vegan leather
Bookmarks.
bookmarks,
Right.
which, oh my God, okay, are embossed with the words in calligraphy, "Fell asleep here." Now,
Which
this
is
tells me that Megan is not a real reader, because any real reader who falls asleep while reading a book in bed or before they're taking a nap, what happens is you fall asleep and the book falls to the side or on you, and you wake up and you've been so falling asleep while reading the book that you have to go back 3 pages. You forgot where you were. You don't delicately place the bookmark that says "fell asleep here" before you actually fall asleep. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just everything that's wrong with her branding. It's inauthentic and ass backwards.
totally. But also,
Yes.
if you Google "fell asleep your bookmarks," they've existed for quite some time. Classic Meghan Markle,
Oh,
classic Meghan, who just takes somebody else's idea and slaps her own spin and calls it a genius idea that she's had. A proper New Year reset isn't about extremes. It's about showing up as your best self every day. Beam is a company proudly founded in America, run by people who share our values, and they've built products that help you keep the promises you make to yourself, the promises that actually matter. Beam's best selling Dream Powder is a healthy nighttime blend packed with proven ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. No groggy hangover. The sea salt caramel flavor, absolute heaven, like indulgent hot cocoa without the guilt. Dream is made right here in America, no shortcuts. Founders guided by integrity and a strong work ethic. Beam has transformed over 28 million nights of sleep. So, if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Kinsey. Use code Kinsey for up to 40% off. That's just $39 with my code. $1.25 per night. Shopbeam.com/Kinsey today. I did look at what Sunshine Sachs was kind of famous for and specialized in to try to determine what the heck could be on the horizon. And you know what? That's what I will say about Meghan. Meghan is one of the most boring human beings I've ever met or seen, I should say, in my
mm-hmm.
entire life. The only thing that makes her interesting to me is the fact that I can't predict what she's going to do next. Like, why the hell are you at Paris Fashion Week? So I was looking at through Sunshine Sachs, some of their wins, some of the awards they'd won in previous campaigns. They have a long-standing relationship with the SAG Awards, with the Golden Globes. Do you think that that could translate into more red carpet appearances for Harry and Meghan? And do you have an opinion on why they have avoided that for the most part? Sometimes we'll see Meghan show up, but Harry really does not pursue that life.
No, I don't think they can help. I mean, Megan couldn't even get in. Remember, was it last year we were talking about this? That and I think she threw such a fit. She either fired her publicity firm or they fired her. Like, she couldn't even get into the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Mm,
Remember?
that's interesting.
She's never been able to get into the Met Gala. I think a real
Oh,
test
but
will
are you worried
be
about this year with Beyonce? Or is it? Yeah, it's Beyonce and Venus Williams that are the
well,
chairs
Venus
this year.
Williams does not like Meghan.
Oh,
And this year, remember, it's the first without Anna as the formal figurehead. Chloe Mal is the new editor in chief of Vogue. Jeff Bezos has purchased the Met Gala for
yeah.
his bride, Lauren Sanchez. Lauren is BFFs with Kris Jenner, who, by all reports, none denied by anyone in the Kardashian Jenner camp, have cut Meghan and Harry off. They were so offended that after extending the invite for Harry and Meghan to Kris Jenner's 70th, hosted by Jeff and Lauren at their private residence, that those two turned around and said, remove all of our photos from your social media. Beyond offended. They're done. I don't know why Sunshine Sachs is getting in the mud with this one. I really have no idea. It is a lose, 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 lose.
Also, we had this conversation years ago at this point about the opportunities Ari Emanuel could bring Meghan Markle, who we don't believe is still representing her personally. I would be surprised if she was still with William Morris Endeavor,
Mm-hmm.
period. But
Mm-hmm.
at the time, we discussed how great this was, synergy wise, that Ari Emanuel could pick up the phone and call anybody and say, could you do me a favor and do this thing with Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
Now, since that conversation's happened, archetypes and maybe Paris Hilton and Mariah Carey were the favor. I don't know. But Confessions of a Female Founder with Love Meghan, who's could only pull in star power like Chrissy Teigen and Mindy Kaling. What I think we could have the same conversation about Sunshine Sachs, who represents Leonardo DiCaprio and Ben Affleck and some quality talent. However, I don't think realistically we can have that conversation because it seems like real celebrities are like, I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with Harry and Meghan. I mean, I look at what's going on right now. We are in full award season is in full swing. Was Meghan asked to be a presenter at the Globes? No. Was she asked to be a
And
presenter
she
at
has
Critics'
a
Choice?
show.
No.
She has a show. It's not like she's just the Duchess. Oh, but she released 2 seasons allegedly of a television show. You're so right. This was the year she could have been there
Yeah.
and it would have made sense.
And not only that, this was the first year that the Globes had a podcast category.
Mm.
Meghan had a podcast. I love you. I must correct you. It's Confessions of a Female Flounder. Now, either Meghan didn't have the money because you had to, it costs money to even submit yourself, and you have to ask to be nominated, and then you have to go around and do all the glad handing and all of that. But her podcast was not even nominated, and that tells us a lot. It's not like you really have to be a sparkling conversationalist or particularly insightful to have your podcast nominated. I mean, heck, like Amy Poehler won, and I've listened to her podcast, and it's pretty flat and dry. It's like getting you ask for like a club soda or like a nice sparkling water, and they bring you something room temp, and it's like uncarbonated. It's like all the fizz is gone. That's like her podcast.
Yeah.
But, she's a famous person, and she played the game, and she, whatever, she won. But Meghan can't even make inroads where like you can buy your way in, which is pretty devastating.
It is devastating. I'd like your opinion on whether or not the story is true because every fiber of my being says it is. Sources claim Meghan was lashing out at Netflix behind the scenes while her father was having a limb amputated. According to Netflix insiders, Meghan screamed at execs that they needed to make the scandal with her father go away or they would suffer for it. Meghan knew the network had invested a lot of money and promotion into her and Harry, and she wanted them to protect their investment and save her bacon, the source claimed. First reaction, do you go, she would have the audacity to do that? Or do you think she was, I don't know, so busy on the phone with the embassy searching for her daddy that she wouldn't have time to make a mean call to Netflix?
She definitely has the nerve to do that. She probably got Ted Sarandos on the phone immediately and said, fix this for me. How this is Netflix's problem is beyond me. They're trying to back away slowly. There's this phrase in the lexicon that's called slow ghosting, right? So you don't just ghost and cut somebody off, you slow ghost. And I think with this first look deal, that's Netflix like slow ghosting Meghan. Like they're trying to back away quietly, not make any sudden movements. And what does she do to further endear herself as her relationship with them is on the bubble, but call up people who probably have never before been able to utter the name Thomas Markle to her,
Right.
right? Talk about the intricacies of the falling out or what the real issue is, and she tells them to solve the problem that she has created by refusing to talk to or phone or go visit her father. How is that anybody else's problem but hers? But like all malignant narcissists, it's never their fault. Somebody else is always to blame.
That's so true. Uh, I'm sorry that I'm spacing on what this is called. Oh, upfronts. Have you noticed how Netflix never includes her in the upfronts? Like she's never mentioned in the brochures. She's never invited to New York or LA to do the upfronts media. I think that to your point about the slow ghosting, if I was so confident in this product, she would be at the upfronts.
Yes, if I were so confident that, listen, we've got a talent here. And who was it who said it turns out she's not any kind of talent?
Oh, that
It was at
agent.
South by Southwest.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
podcasting conference. Yeah.
yeah, that if you had a talent where you thought, okay, you know what, that platform, that project, it wasn't the right fit, but we are invested in this person because we do think they've got something. We just need to sort of grow this person a little more, develop it. They that would be a to not to make a pun, but like it would be a jewel in their crown, right? And the only reason most of us who observe this stuff for a living and report on it believe that they are maintaining any kind of tether to Meghan is in the event something truly goes sideways, again with the royal family, and they have this quote unquote proximity for Meghan and Harry to spill more dirt, which looks like, based on a conversation you and I had very recently on the Nerve, highly, highly unlikely because the royals seem to be creating geographical, not just emotional distance, but geographical distance between Harry now that he is in the UK.
And do you remember the reports that Harry was waiting until the Queen died for him to release certain information because he didn't want to upset her? I mean, okay, martyr of the year, you still made her life a living hell. But just to your point, what if he's promised people
Hmm.
nastier, meaner content when the king is gone, when King
Hmm.
Charles passes away? You know,
Hmm.
uh, I also think that there is a pretty good possibility that somebody from Meghan's team might have whispered in someone's ear, well, what happens if their relationship goes south? Wouldn't you love Meghan's point of view? Because there's the Vanity Fair report that somebody from her team was shopping a post divorce Harry book. So there is justification. And Netflix has so much freaking money. I was finally kicked out of somebody else's account after 5 years. And I had to finally get my own account. They've got so much damn money. Like they,
That's fine. It's fine that they have the money to spend or to waste or to burn, but reputation matters as well.
Mhm.
And who you choose to partner with or promote really matters as well. And, Megan's holiday special, again, the timing could not have been more perfect. Drops the day it's announced her father had his leg amputated in the Philippines.
Insane.
She's promoting family and home and hearth and love and joy. And she doesn't give a about what's going on with him. Just my opinion. All evidence points to that. I mean, at what point do you not just say we have got to cut this person loose? Like it
Right.
is not worth it. Her that special, by the way, much like season one, part B that dropped in the fall, it didn't even crack the top 10 in the United States. Like
Doesn't
nobody even
chart.
wants to rubberneck anymore. We've gone again. I always it's not just my own saying. It's a famous saying. The opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference, and we're all squarely in indifference land.
Ooh, and she doesn't like that. That's not good for her.
It's
Uh,
hard to come back from indifference.
it is. Did you read the reports? I know on your show we give a back tattoo Ben Affleck a hard time, but I really, really love that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, when they were negotiating with Netflix, ensured that any sort of bonus structure that they received, their entire production team received. It's why I sat down and watched some gun movie over some sloppy kiss movie that I'd much
The
rather.
Rip, is that the
Yeah,
new one? Yeah.
yeah. But I think that that tells us a lot about just, I think that they're good guys. Ben Affleck had a drinking problem. Ben Affleck is complicated. But I think the fact that they went to bat with Netflix, especially after we kind of found out about everything that was going on, every time I Love Lucy's played, hundreds of thousands of dollars aren't generated for reruns anymore the way that they used to be, things like that. I don't think we were aware of some of those shifts with streaming, and these two guys are going out there saying we want to take care of the whole crew. I wish Meghan Markle was more like that, but I don't think she ever will be.
No, she would never do that. I mean, I would love to know how that deal was structured. Like, listen, I think it's great. I think it's smart for many reasons, but I wonder if the structure was such that, okay, well, Matt and Ben, you'll get your bonuses and then you can disperse with them how you see fit, and maybe they
Mm.
came out of their own paychecks. I don't know. Regardless, I do think it's very smart. Megan doesn't think that way. Megan is so insecure and such a narcissist, my opinion, that she only ever feels good, and it's a short-lived hit of dopamine when she's trying to make others feel lesser than. Whereas secure people who are interested in continuing to work with real talents and produce real quality understand that the way to do that is you engender loyalty by treating the people you work with very well and making sure that they feel compensated, that they get proper bonuses, that they are shown that they are valued. Megan only feels that she shines when others are crushed beneath her foot.
I'm going to be your boss one day. That's what she told somebody at Kensington Palace. I'm going to be your boss one day. All right, let's stay on the Netflix train for just a second. Around the same time, this article says the toxic duo announced that they were teaming up with Netflix to develop a romantic comedy titled The Wedding Date. It's polished, romantic, and aimed at expanding their appeal well beyond royal drama, one insider says. Both the Sussexes and Netflix see that as a make or break moment in their partnership. Pivot to this new headline. Meghan Markle leaves Prince Harry fuming with movie cameo demand. One source claims Meghan believes they are at a critical crossroads, which is similar to the previous article, and feels it is essential for Harry to be front and center so the project sends a clear message that they are operating as a team. In her view, a cameo from both of them in the film is not just another creative venture, but a defining opportunity to regain traction, stay relevant, and prove they can still compete in an unforgiving and highly competitive industry. We talked about how Harry's become kind of a joke lately, and potentially that is a strategy that he's pursuing on purpose. Stephen Colbert, Hassan Minaj. To me, this just like makes him another joke. Like, this is not your place. Please put your foot down and don't do this if this is true gossip we're reading.
Kinsey, hasn't it always been make or break or a critical juncture for the past 6 or 7 years now?
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand why the media keeps falling for this rehashed bull. It's like it can't constantly be make or break. It can't
right.
constantly be a critical juncture. It can't, the sky cannot constantly be falling. You fail, you fail, you fail, you fail, you fail. Harry either wants to regain some sort of the dignity that came with being a royal prince of the blood, or
Correct.
he does not. And I think his head is so turned around that he doesn't even know what he wants. He's got the only person he seems to have is Meghan. She's trying to shoehorn him into this world of Hollywood that he seems very uncomfortable in, doesn't really want to be a part of, does not seem to be welcomed into. I mean, spilling that he was taking mushrooms and found a bunch of drugs at Courtney Cox's private house party in the pages of Spare does not endear one to the denizens of Hollywood who value that kind of privacy above all else. To say nothing of the fact that these two have nothing to offer if you were to sit across the table from them. They cannot carry on a conversation. We saw Meghan attempt to do it extemporaneously on like 16 episodes of With Love, Meghan. She is crashingly, thumpingly dull. Her butter knife of a husband, her intellectual butter knife of a husband is crashingly intellectually dull. I think I read this report about this new book that they're producing for Netflix. They've optioned. Here's what I think. I remain convinced that Megan's got something on Ted Sarandos. I really do. I really do. Because I don't know why Netflix, which doesn't need these two, tosses them a bone. Here's what I imagine happened. Find them a project, find them a low stakes project. Oh, here's some loser romance novel that nobody's ever heard of. It's not Emily Henry. It's not romantasy. It's not some like Rebecca Yarros romantasy juggernaut. It's low stakes. Throw it to them, announce they'll be producing it. Producing it means slapping shit, I lost my pearl again. It means slapping your name on it. It means like, are they going to actually put up money to produce this project? I don't think so. It's a vanity play if and when this thing ever does get produced. How many things, how many productions did they have announced in partnership with Netflix that have never, ever come to fruition?
Yeah,
Many.
off the top of my head, Pearl and Meet Me at the Lake. We are still waiting at the lake. We need snacks. We are hungry. We are desperate. The Courtney Cox name drop was such a great segue, but I have to pull it back here for a second. Listen to this quote. Harry's reluctance is incredibly frustrating because Meghan feels she is shouldering most of the responsibility for
Aw.
creating long-term reliable income and keeping their professional future afloat. This reminded me of that great passage from Vanity Fair, which talked about how Harry would be so content with being the stay-at-home dad, like the Manny. Does any of that ring true to you? Clear, I think that the dynamic is pretty clear that Meghan is the money maker.
She wants to be the moneymaker. So I think they've burned
Wait,
through a lot
wait,
of.
do you think that she wants to be the money maker because she's in control if she's the money maker?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And it further diminishes him as a royal prince of the blood. Well, you've burned through your inheritance, a good chunk of it allegedly on as ever, which we have heard through reporting they self-financed. And that's an epic failure. So it further diminishes him. It makes her the power player, the breadwinner, the one who's in control. But I don't know how they're going to make money. I mean, I also do think that Harry really does have a great need for attention. I mean, it's right there in the title of his memoir, Spare. He wants to be number one. He's fueled by I believe, rage and fury and jealousy that William is number one, that William is the king ascendant, that it's William's children who will now be front and center. Harry is truly sidelined. I think that's why I don't think it's just a need for money, an apparent need for money that sees Harry do these like really grim talks in front of real estate
In
consortiums
Toronto.
in like Hilton's in Toronto for a few hundred K. It's so grim. I think he just really needs to feel important. I really do.
Sad.
And
That
he's
is so
getting
sad.
diminishing returns on that.
Amen. All right. You mentioned Courtney Cox. Let's talk about Jennifer Aniston. This story has been festering for years, so much so that we've had this conversation before about Jennifer Aniston rejecting Meghan Markle. The headline last year, it was in March of 2025 that we talked, was Jen is at the top of Meghan's wish list as a BFF. She has so much influence and prestige in the business and is on a first name basis with all these big power players. And according to sources, Meghan had been relentlessly trying to connect with Aniston through mutual friends, but her attempts had not been successful. And basically, the Cliff Notes version was Meghan Markle rejected by Jennifer Aniston because one of Meghan Markle's former best friends, but I don't know if they're still best friends because she burns plenty of bridges, is on the morning show or was on the morning show with Jennifer Aniston. She played like the weather girl that worked on the morning show. She
Okay.
she was the one that took the picture of Archie that they used as a Christmas card crawling towards the Christmas tree. And the only clear people in view are Archie and Meghan, and Harry's blurry in the background. So that we know that they do have mutual friends, that could introduce them if Jennifer was willing to do this. Now, here's the new diabolical strategy that I knew you would have something funny to say about because this is just wild to me. The latest report claims that Meghan is hoping to become friends with Jen by collaborating with her hypnotherapist boyfriend, Jim Curtis. He's the perfect bridge, the source says, about the life coach and author. Jim is clearly looking to expand his platform and reach to a wider audience, and Meghan believes she can help with that in a meaningful way. Meghan's convinced there's a natural alignment there and that working together could be mutually beneficial. But the bigger goal is to get close to Jen. this like is her game plan, getting close to Jen Mulroney because Ben Mulroney's friends with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. Like getting close to Beatrice and Eugenie because guess what? Their cousin's Prince Harry, and she's going to lock that down. She is always strategizing. She's always crawling up the social ladder.
She's a reptile. And I think this is so clearly coming from Meghan Markle because only she would be delusional enough to think that the kind of help Jennifer Aniston's imminent fiance needs. He needs Meghan Markle. He needs one of the most loathed people on the planet whose project after project has been an epic failure rather than his soon to be fiancee, Jennifer Aniston, who is one of the most beloved celebrities on the planet, who has no shortage of endorsement deals that give her millions and millions of dollars. Those endorsement deals are predicated on her inherent likability and trustworthiness. So Jim is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim's good. He doesn't need the likes of you, sister. He knows it.
And what would they collaborate on? Are they going to give us some chance? Is it a chance podcast, like where we mantra podcast? I'm just like, where?
Well, Kinsey, don't be silly. She's going to teach Jim how to decant pretzels. She's
Oh,
going to teach Jim how to open one bag of plastic pretzels and put them into another bag of plastic pretzels and then tie a bow on them.
do you think that this story is real?
Yeah, it
I do
sounds
too.
so wacky. I think it's absolutely real. It's so out to lunch. It's so smacks of Meghan Markle's latest Delulu brainstorm.
It's so true. Here's the last line that made me giggle. Megan's got this vision of her and Jen hanging out together, going on double dates with Harry and Jim. It's a little juvenile, but she has her heart set on it. Harry does need a life coach. Okay. I just, or a
I
Bible.
don't think it's Jen Aniston's hypnotist boyfriend though.
Yeah.
The guy's a hypnotist.
Yeah,
Have you seen
exactly.
his IG?
No, I
It's
have.
literally it's Stuart Smalley 3.0. He literally sits in front of the camera. He doesn't blink, which is a tactic.
Yeah.
It's a brainwashing tactic. And he goes, "Repeat after me. I am lovable. I am worthy. All good things are coming to me. I just need to believe." That's it.
No, thank
That's what
you.
this dude does.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is just that. No, there's something so unsexy about that. All
Follow
right.
him immediately.
Exactly. I'm going to. Harry is in London, the king and Harry's brother William in Scotland, getting the heck away from him. Um, have you noticed the surge in stories about how Harry is just inches away from reconnecting with his family and becoming a working member of the royal family again? Are you noticing that Harry, somebody, I don't know how many bodies are left on the PR team, but it does feel like someone's in overdrive with a very specific objective here in 2026?
Yes. And, you and I have talked about this, and you've really kind of changed my thinking. At first, I thought there was some real legitimacy to it. And the reason is that the backbone of that reporting has been, well, Charles is sick. And of course, Charles wants to have real one on one time with the grandchildren that he barely knows. And he wants, some sort of peace, some sort of olive branch before, he passes away. But you really righted my thinking on this, and I feel like you should tell your audience.
Yeah, I'm just not hearing from my contacts over there that the grandchildren, getting to know the grandchildren, spending time with the grandchildren are a priority. And like, not to go back to Brooklyn Beckham, but Brooklyn is crying on his Instagram about how his dad wanted to see him on his 50th birthday and said, "But I just want to see you," and that Nicola wasn't invited. And that somehow was so insulting to Brooklyn. Meghan is not really welcome around the British royal family. They don't
Hmm.
trust her. They are fearful. They are fearful of her. She's very vindictive. She's capable of lying, in my opinion. And I don't think that they want to give her any material whatsoever. And I think it's fair. You knew somebody before this person fell in love with and changed their entire being and the way that they were before them. I think it's fair if King Charles just wants to see Harry. I don't think that Harry's going to come out with the children without Meghan, and Meghan is not welcome. But I also think King Charles has waited his entire life for this job. He sees William's children on a regular basis. Uh, but otherwise, he's incredibly busy working through this cancer, doing the job he's waited all of his life for. And he's simply not sitting around pining away for these children who have no idea who the hell he is.
Well, the other thing is that Meghan may not be welcome or trustworthy, but Harry is not trustworthy either. And we saw this in the immediate aftermath of Harry's publicly much longed for summit with King Charles, which I believe happened in September. And within 24 to 48 hours, we had leaks that Harry was not happy. And then there were leaks from the palace that Charles was like, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing stays quiet. And if that was the test, if that was the sort of initial test, can we have a closed door meeting? Of course, advisors, courtiers are there, but can we have a closed door meeting that is leak proof? Nothing comes out, whether good or bad, just it's silence. And Harry couldn't do it. He couldn't effing do it.
No, no, and that was ego too. He was frustrated he wasn't getting his way yet again.
But you're 2 years old. You're a toddler.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about compromise here. And a good compromise is when actually both parties walk away feeling like they did not get something they want. That is the art of compromise. Grow up, Harry.
All right. Agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And make sure you subscribe to The Nerve with Maureen Callahan on YouTube if you haven't. Bigly's saying hello and goodbye.
Hi.
He's been in my lap
Bigley.
this entire time. What an angel.
Oh, what a good dog.
I know. But now that I've said goodbye to you, they're all hyper aware that I'm saying goodbye. So I better let you go before they start raising hell. I love you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.
Love you, Kins. Thanks for having me.